When I was in my 20s, actually my early 20s, I found myself married. Now in hindsight, looking back, that was kind of young and probably why the marriage didn't work out. And even though I knew back then that one of my talents was cooking, I was always daunted by the semblance of lasagna. It always felt like a dish that you got in a restaurant, not something that you could make at home. Anyway, he was one of 10 children. There were 8 boys and 2 girls. His eldest sister, who I kind of didn't really have that much of a rapport with until we discovered that we both loved cooking. And through that time, she dazzled me with her lasagna. And I remember when she served it on the dinner table and my eyes grew wide with anticipation and also bewilderment at how she had managed to produce such a beautiful dish. It was then that his sister noticed that I was in awe of what she'd served up to the table. She looked at me and I looked at her, and I guess in that instance, we finally had a bond. Later that evening, when we were cleaning up, she started to explain to me the fundamentals of making a good lasagna. At that stage in my life, I was a pretty good master of making pasta sauce, and I thought I could do this. It seemed pretty easy, a little complicated, but it seemed a lot more straightforward than what I'd ever anticipated. She promised to show me how to make lasagna the next time I was over. So just after one lesson, I was on my way to mastering this Italian dish, and no longer was I overwhelmed by its construction. Since then and over the years, I've modified it to include my, well, not so secret ingredient now, which was a stubby of beer, an Aussie expression for a small bottle of beer. Years later, when my children were growing up, my lasagna, in fact all my Italian cooking, became famous within our household and especially for dinner parties. I would never tell anyone about the secret ingredient, but it kind of leaked out when my children would always be very proud of their mum adding a stubby of beer to the lasagna. Recently, my eldest daughter asked me to create a vegan meaty version of my lasagna from years ago. And thanks to soya granules and texturized vegetable protein, I was able to create this spectacular Italian dish. I was really happy with the outcome because this dish had kind of been sidebarred over the years because of the fact lasagna to me was always a meat lasagna. I have an amazing vegetable lasagna that I'd cooked, but my daughter really wanted this meatier version, and I'm really proud to say that it ticks all the boxes, and it's definitely on par with the traditional lasagna that I made when she was growing up. Now I don't use that secret bottle of beer to add to the lasagna, but instead in this recipe I've kind of come up with a nice tangy taste by using tamari sauce and a little bit of maple syrup, which just gives it that edge to the pasta sauce. I really hope you enjoy this vegan version of my meaty lasagna.